Madam Chairman, you are live.
Okay, I will call the Parks and Recreation Board September 15th, 2025 to order at 6:02. Pledge allegiance, please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So, do we have any public comment for items not included on the agenda?
That would be us. I did pass out.
You have to introduce yourself.
Okay. I'm
Please
Jan
go to the
Huber,
mic.
and this is,
Judy Gillespie.
and we are here, and I handed out a little sheet to the folks there that says that what we're interested in doing is trying to locate an available park space someplace in the county or the city, and to develop it and whatever, and to name it the Patrick Plattenberg Park in honor of all of the volunteer service that Pat has provided to this community. He shows up for absolutely everything. He plants trees, he designs things, he shows up every day, he picks weeds, he does stuff I would never touch, and he shows up for fundraisers for all kinds of events, not just for things that have to do with trees, but for all events. And he's really been a marvelous addition to this community, and I don't know what we'd do without him. And it seems to me we need to say thank you in a big way.
If we had 2 more of him, this town would be looking really amazing. I mean, he puts in hour after hour with no expected accolades. So I think we should be very, very grateful and very, very proud that we have somebody in our community like him.
I'm proud.
Me too.
I absolutely agree with you, and it has been his personal mission to dedicate the rest of his life to beautification for others.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
okay, I appreciate the comments, and we definitely will take a look at it once we develop the way ahead on how projects can the checklist that we need for projects out. We'll take a look at Centerville property.
Okay.
Because I think that, to me, that one right now is one that could support a small park there. And I know that we have a few other interested parties who had brought things before us before we even had the master plan finished. So we'll keep that one in mind. And what we need to do is we'll get a development checklist together for project interested parties who would like to develop projects like I mentioned in the paper for the article this week.
Okay.
And then we'll put that out and let you all know.
Okay, sounds
Thank you.
perfect.
And then we
Thank
can
you
go
very
down
much.
that road.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
We have any other
Thanks.
comments from anybody else on the board?
Yep, I'm going to make one comment, Madam Chair. We are kind of starting early this year. Oh, not related to your thing. Don't worry. Sorry.
Okay.
You don't feel like you have to stand there.
Okay.
Sorry. Is that what you meant? New other comments or
Well, I meant
specific?
for them
I'm sorry.
first. Any questions for
No,
them? Or
I think that's a
comments?
great idea. But no other comments. Sorry, I think I meant next comments.
Before, Lindsay, before you go and before you ladies go, so when we develop the I just need clarification. When we develop that checklist, we can give it to them so that they, like, because it sounds like you want a sign and a dedication.
So
and
that they can then go forth with what
Yeah.
they would like to propose
Okay.
and they can develop their plan. It's not going to, obviously, they don't need a master plan for something small like that, but, and same with the Peace Pole Meditation Park and the dog park and some of the smaller construction that might be wanting to go or to have a place out there.
So,
If,
may I ask a question?
Mhm.
Is there any specific spot or place that you think this would be a good fit for having Pat's name recognized?
Well, and that's something you need to look at too, is, would it be in a city park or would you want it to be an undeveloped area? I mean, I know Centerville and Mill Road is a little bit out there. It's not in the main part of the city. But
So you would need to know where we would like to have it?
Well, they're going to do a checklist thing that we would.
that'll have to be the checklist, right? And of course, anything inside the city is the city's call.
Yes, yeah.
I noticed that Doug Sitton is the city representative, and he's not here? Okay. Well, maybe we need to go to the city council too and then talk to them a little bit too. If you think that's a good idea. I know we don't want to go around you guys. I want to do this in the right order, so.
No, but as you mentioned in your proposal here, you did review the master plan for Centerville and Canton properties and taking a look at those.
Those are
But
very
you
good
as a
master
group,
plans,
once we
by the way.
develop the checklist, you as a group then would decide
All right.
how we go about that in
Okay,
develop.
That's
Okay?
what I had the question in my mind about. So, thank you.
Thank you for
so
your
much.
time.
Well, you're welcome. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Lindsay.
All right. I just wanted to mention that we're trying to kind of get ahead of the power curve this year with board member term renewals. I don't have anything specifically for this board, and the fact that this board meets monthly makes it a little bit easier. We have some boards that meet bi-monthly, and we kind of have to get ahead of it now because they only have one more meeting for the rest of the year. But I think we're going to try in advance to, you'll get from Daleen or from Abra a notification about whose terms are expiring. People will have to submit letters of interest for any expiring terms. We do have to keep all our boards, we have to open up the board positions for 30 days. And then we will hopefully be able to get everything approved both through Parks and Rec Board at the local boards and to the commissioners, so the new year can start with the new board members rather than go like January, February with old board members. So
Okay.
just that'll be coming. Just keep a lookout for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Welcome, Gary.
Hello.
Do you have any comments that are not included, of items that are not included in the agenda?
Nope, just thought I'd come here in case you needed information.
Okay.
So, just hanging out, so
All
I've
right.
had some time, so.
Thank
I'll
you.
sit down and watch.
Well, welcome. All right, we had a chance to look at the minutes.
Yes.
I'll accept a motion for the minutes.
I make a recommendation to accept August 18th, 2025 Parks and Recreation Board meeting minutes.
I second.
Okay, do we have any any corrections or discussion for those minutes?
I did not.
Yeah, not either. Okay, hearing none. All those in favor of passing the minutes? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion approved. Okay, process for submitting letters of support for the county projects.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
that was a question that you had on your email. I think this was yours, and I put it in there just so that you can
Oh.
get clarification, I believe.
Yeah, okay, thank you for that, Abra.
Okay, I was going to say, I didn't have a name on it, so I'm just going to look at somebody else because I don't remember submitting this one.
Well, and I think, and then I told Abra, I'm like, forget it, because Al had sent the Fish and Wildlife Parks Indian Creek proposal, and I thought we would have time to discuss it, but the deadline for comments was up last week.
Yeah.
But just for my clarification, what is the process for this board if we want to submit comments to something like that? Do we bring it to the board, vote on it, and then does the commission have to approve it, or how does that work, just for future reference?
I would imagine the commission would have to approve it if we were to put, if we have enough time to, to submit proper comments, I would bring it to the board. Otherwise, we could probably discuss it and then write something up for the commissioners for support. I don't know, would that be something that, I mean, anything coming from this board in a public forum I would assume have to go through the commissioner's clearance.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like articles, like we've been talking. Well, I think, what's your thoughts be? It depends on how urgent it is. So I want to say that's really the deciding factor, is how urgent.
I think we did a letter of support for your silos master plan, did we not? For that one.
What has been done historically, like when there's, a time crunch, like in this instance, if individuals want to write a letter of support, so I'm going to use you for an example, Carol. You could say Carol Hatfield, Broadwater County resident, Parks and Rec Board member. So that is just very clear you're speaking as a member. Like, you're not representing the whole board. You're representing Carol Hatfield. So that has been done historically, just so that there's not some miscommunication that you were speaking on behalf of the board without actually conferring with the board. And also historically, boards, even though the commission is not desiring to censor you by any means, just to be sure that whatever is good PR, right, coming out, should probably go past the commissioners. And just, even if, and I shouldn't say commissioners because we don't want them to vote on it, because then that becomes a whole other thing. So your commission liaison is Lindsay. So if this board, if you had time to say, hey, we want to do a letter of support, here's some talking points, Abra, please put the letter together, run it past Lindsay, Lindsay gives it the thumbs up, and then it goes to print. Does that
makes sense.
all make sense? Okay.
Because I was just thinking, some stuff will still come up in the future, and if we as a board want to submit comments, we need to understand how to work that.
Yeah, and ideally, I think if you have time, you know what I mean? If you know that date's in 2 months and you're going to have a meeting, like, hey guys, I put this together and get board feedback on it, then it comes from the board as a whole too. So,
Okay. Perfect. Thanks.
Can I just follow up with that really quick?
Yes,
With getting board
absolutely.
feedback, it's really, really, really important that there are no motions made via email. I know you know this. I'm just putting that out there for
Right.
public knowledge as well. You will not
Okay.
be voting. It will simply be, if it's a collaborative effort, that you're putting together a letter, you're adding talking points, and Abra is, your secretary, your admin, who will assist with that. But just make sure you're not like, I approve of this, I approve of that.
Oh, sure.
That's all.
Okay, will do, thank you. All right, so I did not realize that article I wrote was literally a third of the column of the paper. But I'm hoping, Al, that you had a chance to read the article and it wasn't too incorrect on anything. And but what I wanted to do was open the door for people to start getting their ideas together, especially for the Centerville property, and to explain to them what we had done and why master plans were important and why we needed to do it. And so were there any questions or any comments on the article?
I thought it was good.
Yeah.
Thanks
Okay.
for doing that.
Part two, I'm hoping we can do a part two, which is the process for developing the project. And and the next steps for those. Okay. The vault toilet report.
First of all, can I say I love how this topic is written? I'm here to give the vault toilet report. I actually got the refund check from Missoula Concrete last Thursday, I believe, for $10,160.
Wow, they gave us the whole 10,000.
Yep, the whole thing back. They were able to sell our contract, which was fantastic because, just for your historical knowledge too, Carol, the Parks and Rec Board, I'm not a board member. The Parks and Rec Board had voted to purchase a vault toilet for the Canton, Connors Field.
Oh, okay. I was thinking
Sorry, for Connors Field.
Yeah.
And as we crept through that process, we put the deposit down of $10,160, which was 50% of the purchase price of said vault toilet. We were obligated to that. If we defaulted on the contract, they were going to keep 50% of that. So we were only going to get about $5,000 back, which, operating under our small budget, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
In any case, through the discovery of the construction and installation phase, or the process of this vault toilet, it was going to cost close to $50,000 just to dig the hole, get it ADA compliant, all of that. It was more than just the $20,000. And so we're trying to back out of that for the last 2 years, actually. So Missoula Concrete graciously held on to this vault toilet because it was set to be delivered in 2024, so about April of 2024. And they held it for us for a year and worked to sell our contract. So
Great.
anyway, just so you know how we came
So it's
about with that.
gone.
It's gone. The money is going to be deposited tomorrow. I'm working with the county. We were just emailing today, trying to figure out the appropriate account number to put it in. So.
Okay, so it won't be P&R's account.
It will be. Oh yeah,
Well,
it
it
definitely
will
will.
be.
That's where it came
Oh,
from.
okay.
I want to make sure that I'm putting it directly back into that same.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a big number that it has to go into, an accounting number. So I just want to.
Work your magic and what you need to do.
You don't get to sit
No,
down.
I don't think so. Welcome, Miss Wendy. Okay, that's quite all right.
And Madam Chair, permission to take it
Yes.
off the agenda now?
Yes, absolutely, done. Erase it, it's finished. Complete. Okay, youth involvement on the board report was for Mike, and he is not here. Did he send anything in for that particular?
No,
Okay.
Madam Chair, no.
All right, review the main points for, main points. Review the main points from the meeting, suggestions for board's role on the recreation plan yearly review. How's that going between Carol and Wendy?
You want to talk about it?
Sure.
Wow, you know,
You too.
I
You walked in
actually
just on
went
time.
through it. Yeah, I just got here just in time. I went through it page
borrowed your
by
copies.
page. And there's a lot of things in here that we are implementing already. And let me open up here. So as I went through this, and I went through the executive summary starting at the beginning, there's a lot of things that we're already doing. There's the Fairgrounds project, which is kind of out of our hands. The swimming pool, the city pool stuff, which is out of our hands. McCarthy and Holloway Park, which is out of our hands. Connors Memorial Softball Field. There's a lot of stuff in here that I don't know. I really don't know where we're at with it all because it's stuff that has been going on.
And some of them have their own boards.
Right,
They
the
have their own
Silos
boards, and-
project.
Right, and when we
the-
started this, we were city-county board. Pseudo-city-county board.
Right.
But because this was the whole county, we definitely wanted to include even those parks and
Okay.
plans for within the community, in the city as well.
Right, so that's
So-
what this whole plan basically is
It's an
surfacing.
overview for the whole county.
Yeah, which is incredible. But if you look at that and you go back, where are we with our program and our committee? We have number one priority, a community event center, which we've never discussed while I've been on the board. A trail system expansion, which we've been talking about quite extensively, which is incredible. That's number two on our priority list. And then the Silos project, which has its own. So that was just some of the things that really came up as I was going through this. It's kind of like a wow for me, really. Carol, you want to expand on that?
Yeah, and I completely agree with Wendy. And so, for it, in order for this to move forward for the review, I guess what we need to know is what's the expectations? Does this need to be like this table? Certain things in this document need to be updated. It's obviously not city county anymore, it says county. So do we want to take all the city stuff off? And I guess just basically, how do you want us to move forward so that we can prepare a document for review for the commissioners?
Well, and I guess another question I have is does this document have to be changed?
No, it was just it's a living document, and I think where we talk about, it's not really a plan. It's well, county recreation plan. It's a guide for us, for the county recreation.
So a guide, yeah.
And I think in terms of updating it, it is, or yearly reviewing it, my thoughts were, okay, so take one of these that is, so the skate park, number 12. Skate park is done.
That's a check.
And so you would go to page 17 and recommend, we would just, I don't know if we want to actually make physical changes to this or just do amendments which should say the skate park was completed in 2023 with a generous grant of a such and such agency and is now under the jurisdiction of the city.
Right.
I mean, that would be to me, would be the easiest way to do it, is just do amendments to the plan
That's what I
by
think we should
submitting
do,
a
yeah.
report on what's been done
Okay.
in the plan according to the projects. And then that report then gets filed as an amendment to the plan in the folder for the commissioners or the
Makes sense.
planning agency. Does that sound about what we should
I
be?
think that sounds great. I think that makes the most sense rather than trying to redo the whole document. I think you could also, just to add to that, and it goes off to something we discussed at the working meeting with like numerical priorities. Like those priorities are shifting all the time. So maybe this
Right.
priority page, maybe just this, not even the page, just this
Just take the
chart gets reshuffled depending on what the board and the commissioners, if it's a once a year or twice a year meeting with the commissioners to discuss priorities, what we think the community finds important, what the board is hearing, what's important, just kind of reshuffle those as needed, or add new ones. Might be new ones that come up. So you don't even have to change the whole page, just this piece.
Right, and,
you know?
and as we said, I mean, the Connors Field, there was Connors Memorial Softball Field, irrigation, vault toilets, pavilions, and we went down that road, and then we stopped because we needed a master plan because of the conflicting interests. And so maybe putting an addendum page for that one, going down these projects. We have, the fairgrounds has tremendous progress, but that's in their own master
Right.
plan.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But, maybe taking each one of these and saying, okay, community event center, not feasible due to cost at this time, or researching land, or whatever we want to do, and just put that in.
It's almost like you're making notes
Yes.
on each project, kind of where that's at
Okay.
and why
And-
it's shuffling, however you would want to do that.
And I think
Yeah.
that would be appropriate, especially for historical sequencing. If somebody takes a look at this, okay, we spent all the money on doing this plan, what did it come to? Then you look at Amendment 1, skate park's done. The silos project, the master plan, is your master plan complete on the silos?
Oh, yeah, it was completed
Yeah.
before this was done, that's why, just one of my issues.
Okay.
Hey, Aubrey, where were you looking at that? When we had our working meeting, you were looking at the silos plan on your computer.
It's on the county side. I think.
Is it on the county site? It
I
is?
Googled, I think I just
Okay.
Googled silos plan.
Okay, because I've never looked at that, and I really
It's
would
in
like
there under, I don't know.
It's not on
the
trust
user,
one,
One of
isn't
the
it?
headings, but it's in there.
Okay,
Has been, unless it just recently got pulled out.
No, it's on the, yeah, it's right here. What is it under? It's on the silos master plan, it's news list. It's under home and news list. So it's here.
yeah. 'Cause
So
it-
that's something maybe we could sit down, again, in another, sit down in another working meeting and just start putting some of the progress notes together and put them in some kind of semblance of order by the priority list. And that then would be the addendum.
Okay.
Or if you ladies want to tackle that
Yeah.
first and start with that.
I can
some of the
look
simpler
too on the
ones.
website and see if we could add the links to the master plans right on the Parks and Rec board site.
Oh, that'd be good.
That
Mhm.
would be good, yeah.
And Madam Chair, can I-
Yes.
as I'm looking at that website, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Nicole, you have underneath our Parks and Rec plan, for our current one, Canton, you have a map, but I don't think the complete plan has been updated underneath there.
I don't think it has either. I was struggling to find those documents on our website.
I'll see what I can.
So I don't know if that's if I can do that, I'd be happy to upload that for you, but I don't want to mess anything up there. If Daleen put that up for you, that map, I'm not quite sure, but I can check with you later.
I'll take a look at it
Okay, okay.
and let you know. Thank
Thanks.
you.
That's where I was having some difficulty, was trying to find the different plans.
I
I know.
uploaded it to this meeting, so if you go into this meeting, both of those plans are on there as documents, because,
Okay.
but I got them for my own documents, not, and yours is on
Okay.
there, it's just not, it's not this one, or the other one. Yours, your Canton one isn't
Okay,
on.
okay.
Side note, thank you.
All right, so that would be something, is add links to other master plans from the P&R page.
Good idea.
That would be helpful, absolutely. Does that give you a little more direction then?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That
does.
helps. And I think we could probably start drafting, or, and then maybe if we decide to have another working meeting, that could be something that we could work on.
Right.
with
Okay.
Everyone's
Yeah, because as I go through there too, the Heritage Park Band Show, I don't know anything about that.
I'm not sure if they scrapped that or not. That's a city,
Is
that
that
was
a
kind of a
city thing?
Rotary thing, they wanted that, but we don't put a band, we always put the big stage up,
Yeah.
and I don't know that I know, and when they do Shakespeare in the Park, they bring a temporary stage and do it that way. I don't know if they want to go down that road anymore for a Heritage Park Band Shell, because it
Madam
really
Chair.
limits what you can do with your park on the large scale if you put a permanent
Yeah, it does.
permanent band shell. That was number 11.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
again, like the band shell that's in the city park, it might be, I'm just trying to think how we can encourage the city liaison to come to the meetings and be part of the conversation. And I don't know if I can reach out and figure that out, unless maybe board member to board member, that might be good to invite them back.
Well, and there are a lot of things on here in this summary that deal with the city.
Well, I think it was
Yes,
thought to be
absolutely.
city county for a long time, and then it was back to it was just county.
Just county.
Because the city really didn't have, a lot was going on in the city. There wasn't a lot going on in the county.
Okay.
So by default, and then, I don't know, the history for.
So we'll just do it.
So it was city county parks and rec board, and then after a collaborative meeting with some members of city council and the mayor and the parks and rec board, the mayor had recommended that it become county only, and you loop the city in only when needed, as needed. And so I don't know that Doug, Doug being the city liaison, I don't know that he has been negligent in not attending. First of all, I don't know if he's been invited to attend these meetings, but that was at the direction of the mayor, that there's no reason to have a city liaison at every meeting unless there's something happening that you need a city liaison for.
Oh, okay,
So-
so we can plan for that person to come and give us some updates or something. Okay,
Yep.
got it.
Okay. Yeah, that was the main
Okay.
thing that stuck out on this whole, as we do an overview of it, it's like, wow,
Well, and
there's
that would
so
be
many
the-
things on here that
Well,
we
and
don't.
for those city priorities, obviously at McCarthy and Holloway Parks, we've already got the pavilion and the vault toilets done at Holloway Park, but maybe going to the city and taking a look and talking with the city council members and see what their plans are still for going. And I know McCarthy Park, they finished the tennis courts. Did y'all finish all that?
And tennis courts, basketball courts are finished down there.
Your baseball fields are brought back
Yeah,
and
we've
reseeded.
put a little bit into, I think they're done with I haven't been down there in this last couple of weeks, but
Okay.
we did get new bleachers,
Mhm.
three sets of pretty new bleachers. We got those built up over there. And, they have the playground put in over there too.
Go up to that, because it's hard to hear. Sorry.
Yeah, so, we got all that stuff we put some bleachers in over there, part of leftover money from the tennis courts, basketball courts. We purchased some new bleachers for around the baseball stands because it was pretty, the ones we had were pretty questionable. We probably shouldn't have been sitting much on them. So, got some new ones there. They're not big, but they're mobile, which is kind of nice. So, they're smaller, they're mobile, so. We got 2 or 3 of those put up, and then we didn't have a part, so we haven't put the other one up yet. But
Okay. Do you know of any plans for vault toilets and pavilions at McCarthy Park? Maybe we need.
no, I don't.
Yeah.
No,
I don't remember that
Yeah,
either.
that's
but
on here.
Yeah.
but
It is
yeah.
on here, but okay.
we,
Well, and maybe
Yeah.
I think the best use of a city council member being a liaison for this board is maybe once every few months, once a quarter, give us an update on the projects that volunteers and or others are doing out in the city parks, especially as they're indicated in our plan, so that we can make the addendum and put it down for the historical record either way.
yeah, there you go.
Okay?
And, Madam Chair,
Yes.
you got the money too from the trust board finally for
Yeah,
your improvements that you need to do.
yeah, I think so, yes. I get confused of which one's which, but yes. Yeah, we're moving forward with putting some, getting scoreboards up on the baseball fields. We're moving forward with that, trying to, because we have, that must be what that money was.
Maybe on our backs, I know it was backstops and fencing and.
Okay, yep. Maybe I'm the wrong guy to be talking. So everyone's not here, so I'm here.
There's more improvements coming.
Yeah, we have more improvements coming over there on the baseball field still because of the
Okay.
great stuff and donations and grants and stuff. So
Okay.
yeah, it's
Thank
been
you.
pretty awesome. So.
Appreciate it, Gary.
Yeah, you bet.
Thank you. Al?
Good evening, Al Christofferson. Yeah, if you're going to do the, I guess, annual status report or whatever it is on that list of projects, I would encourage you to reach out to the people or the organizations that are working with each one of those entities and ask them. Maybe they can provide you the input so you don't have to write things that maybe you're not familiar with, and let them build that list for you, because I think it's probably a lot more than most people realize is going on, and that way you'd be getting the best information. You can take that and massage it however you want into your format or whatever, but that's what I would recommend you do, is reach out to the people that are involved in those things and ask them for what's been happening, what's been going on.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Thank you for your suggestions. Very helpful. Okay. The next steps for Canton and Centerville properties, as I kind of mentioned in the article, I feel that we need to get a checklist together for project development for the smaller portions of it. I'm thinking of things like the park that was just recommended, the dog park, the Peace Pole Meditation Park, the trail to go around Canton, and these are all Centerville. Right now, I'm not sure that there's much we can do at Canton, the Canton property out there. We did hear from Jesse about the golf club's plans to put their new automated driving range out there, and we'll see what he comes back to us with on that. But does anybody have any other comments on any steps that they think we need to? I mean, obviously, I want to look at the legal and the funding, and when they go out for the project development, having the safety and the operations and maintenance, long-term, that kind of stuff taken care of in their plan, in their design, in their ownership of their portion or their section, and developing it in concert with the master plan for the Centerville property.
Madam Chair, clarification for me. So everyone that has come to the board that have asked for fields or whatever it might be, we're going to provide them with the checklist. They need to come up with the project development plan, design, everything they may need, utilities, water, all of that, and then bring it back and submit it to the board. Is that what I'm
For the
hearing?
extensive projects, I'm thinking especially for fields, if you need electricity and water for fields, but I was very specifically more concerned with the Centerville property. For the Canton property, I'm not sure. I mean, where's baseball going? You know, where are we going to put them? Are we going to have the split fields? Are we going to even go down that road of trying to put fields over there 4 years from now? Rod and Gun Club may or may not, or they may or may not get the lease. I mean, where do we go?
Madam Chair, if we
Yes.
move on to the next items, I've got updates on all that stuff. Well, updates, not like answers. Updates.
So the BOR meeting, okay, with the BOR, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Let's just keep it with the small projects. That's the list I was developing, is for the ones who don't need a big, huge engineering design,
Yeah.
just for the small projects. Chain link fence, who's going to pick up the trash, who's going to pick up the dog poop, who's going to keep the grounds supplied with sand, that kind of stuff, for the small projects for now. And that's the checklist that I will be developing this week and bring it back to the board. Okay? All right, moving on. Lindsay, the Bureau of Reclamation meeting, if you would, please.
Okay, so we will be meeting with Jeff Bumberger. I always say his last name wrong. On, just have this up, this Wednesday. And we have a bunch of questions, and a lot of those were guided by Al, especially after our working meeting. We came up with a lot of different questions. Obviously, we're asking about updates, projects, changes, of things going on, information on the silos, concessionaire agreement there. Trying to set up some regular meetings with BOR, like twice a year if possible, just to touch base, kind of review what's happening, especially with everything that goes on with Canyon Ferry. I did tell him, we're looking at additional property is really needed, because we know what we have. We know the challenges there. I spoke with Al, and we kind of reviewed again what we talked about in the working meeting and looked at the specific piece of property that we're talking about on the west side of Canton, right? And it totals about 140 acres.
North of the RY Timber
yes,
property.
North of the RY Timber property. And it runs parallel with the WMA, right? But it's not really managed. There's nothing on it right now. It is under FWP management for BOR. And so the specific questions that I sent to Jeff, and I did attach a map, were basically on title transfer authority, permitting options, what the request process looks like, and the timeline to do that. Really, use and development requirements, costs. Is there a waiver of costs for local government? Asking about water rights. Curious about water rights. What is the process for this? I'm a little bit curious about the water rights on the previously transferred parcels and how that works. Because if you look at GWIC, if you look at water rights, it only shows Broadwater County as having 4 water rights, 4 different wells. We don't have anything actually on those properties. And then just what do they need from us, from basically regarding future use. So hopefully he will have, I really appreciated that he wanted to come prepared and be able to answer some questions. So hopefully he will have that for us, or something close to it, and we can at least get the conversation started. And I think the thought was, if we could get additional property, especially out there, which would make sense considering the other recreation properties are out there, would that be something that we have, and then we say, if we got it, and say to a group like Townsend Baseball, okay guys, we've got property for you. Take this much acreage. I don't know if it's an MOU or a lease, because if you're leasing from the BOR, I don't know how that works. We would have to look at that and say, what's your plan? What's your project? They go out, they raise money. Maybe we find, maybe there's an applicable grant that has to be run through local governments only, but they're raising money. They're like, hey, I've got a friend who can engineer this, and part of the checklist is, hey, they submit this application, here's the checklist, right? Hey, they've looked at the engineering, check, we know what maintenance is going to be, we know what, and then the MOU or the lease is for a certain amount of time. So I think on the county end, we need to decide which questions and what items we want on that checklist, right? We need you can put the checklist together like you were saying, but I think the county needs to say, here's what we have to know, right? Now, and I'm going to merge a couple of our items here just because they all overlap. But legal department has said they are working on it. So they know over the next month, they're going to just be working on what we need from a county end to know we've got liability covered, right? So that will be part of that checklist. Like, hey, we need to know that whoever is contracting has the county listed as additional insured. So, something along those lines, right? This is what's going to be needed to turn in. If there's an engineering plan, does it have to be approved? You know what I mean? Like, so
Certified.
we need, certified.
Safety,
yes.
structural, everything that goes
So
with
we
it.
need to talk about that. And like fields don't seem like a huge thing, but we're going to need to do our research on our end about water and things like that before we say, hey, we've got this piece of property, who's game, right? So I'm hoping we have a route or an avenue that we don't have to worry about the rod and gun area yet, and I'll follow up with that in a second. So our legal team is working on what we're going to need that way. You know, as far as the checklist goes, I think that's going to have to be a back and forth thing a little bit, just to make sure everybody's bases are covered. I did ask our insurance volunteers are covered, so I'm thinking we need to do a volunteer form of some kind. We don't have that, so if there's volunteers working on county property, make sure we have that handled. But yes, they are covered from insurance, so that's a good thing. Yay.
So they don't have to sign a waiver to work out on county property?
No. Our
volunteer?
insurance said that volunteers are fine, but I think just to do our due diligence, in case something should happen, we would want people to have I don't know that it's a waiver per se, just like a form saying I'm volunteering for X project, whatever.
Right, paragraph and a
Yeah.
sign-up list.
Yeah, however that should look.
So they're officially on a project.
Correct.
Okay.
So that's really what
Something
the
similar.
county is working on our end. I skipped over prickly pears. Sorry, I'll come back to that, or prickly pear, excuse me. But yeah, so really we're just going to try and figure out what's needed in the process, because I feel like there's a couple layers to it, right, with the application to the Parks and Rec Board. If the Parks and Rec Board is going to be acting a lot more like the Trust Board, they would be taking an application from a group like Townsend Baseball and saying, okay, all the criteria is met, we've had time to review this, or no, you're missing this piece, send it back, resubmit again, or it's going to be, oh, it's all done, great, we're going to approve this, send it on to the commission to look at it, ask questions, approve, right? It's really similar to the Trust Board. I thought that was a fantastic idea. So we'll just keep working on that. It's going to take a little, I don't think it should take forever, but as legal comes up with things, we'll have to just adjust what that checklist looks like and what we're asking for, probably depending on the size of the project. A dog park is going to look different than a rec center.
Absolutely.
Right? I will say with the BOR, and again, I credit Al with a lot of guidance on this. He's very experienced and has worked with them a lot. It would be nice to see if we could get that property transferred to the county, right?
That would be better than leased.
It would be. The lease would be a long term, but it's always hard to put, hey, we've got a lease. You're going to build a bunch of stuff on the lease, but if it's serving the community, that's the purpose. That's what we're trying to get to. I do agree too. It came up in the working meeting that having the special interest groups really drive the train kind of puts skin in the game for everybody, and there's a little extra commitment there, right? We're not just looking. The county would love, it'd be great if we had just all the funds in the world to say we want to build this and that and have it done, but I think it works out better if groups are saying, hey, we're going to make this happen, we've got a way to do it. Oh, you have to buy everybody donuts, Jen?
I do. That's my other boss.
So
Andy?
No, the Girls and Boys State Program.
Andy Griffith.
Yes, Andy Griffith.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we'll have to, that's all right. I guess just let's keep working on the checklist back and forth and see where that goes, because we're kind of starting from scratch on it. I can bounce back to prickly pear trails report if you'd like. I have a call in. I'm waiting for a call back from their executive director, Mary Hollow, who I actually know Helena not well, but I know her. And we'll discuss just engineering of the trails. I'm curious what specs they use for their trails, and I'm also curious how they have dealt with crossing public ground or approaches onto public roads. And I want to make sure we have that addressed. So, you know, when TJ asks the question, okay, what's that approach going to look like? How is that going to work when I cross the road? It might be a big deal. It might not be a big deal. But we need to know. We need to know what needs done. If maybe they have experience in engineering, right, on public ground, they may say, oh yeah, you know, Lewis and Clark requires X, Y, or Z when we cross public property. So I'm just going to get those types of details. But if there's other things along those lines that you want me to ask, please send me those questions, and I'll be happy to ask that when she gets back to me. Rod and Gun Club.
Rod and Gun Club report.
Sorry, you guys. I have all these things. I talked with Brad for quite a while the other day. It was a great conversation. Brad fully acknowledges, he's like, I know Rod and Gun's probably going to have to move. It might be 5 years, it might be 50 years, is the way it is. He does not think that there will have to be like a mitigation project. Am I saying that right? Mitigation?
Environmental mitigation
Yeah,
of the
he
lead.
does not think they have the volume of lead or anything there, and he's basing that on Helena's gun club and what they have, and that they aren't quite qualifying for that. So he's thinking that may not even be an issue.
That would be terrific if it isn't.
Right. Well, there are other issues. So there's a lot of issues with BLM up there. And when I say issues, challenges with BLM, there's the ground, right? The terrain. You can't be on a hill. You need flat ground. Electric, as of 4 years ago, was very expensive, and they could not add any more to come off of
The feeder that's already there.
feeder that's at the transfer station. And I guess feeder is the right word for it.
Okay.
You also have water questions. So what he is doing, Brad is going to, he appreciates, he's like, I get that, like in 4 more years, who knows what's going to be decided. He goes, there's no hurt in having this information and being knowledgeable on it. BLM, kind of like our ask with BOR. It might be something we need to work with BLM on that a little more, or reignite the conversation with my words. Sorry, get the conversation going again with BLM about the piece of property that Rod and Gun was looking at up there next to the current gun club. It's a little bit kitty corner. I have a printout of it, but discussing that with them. Same type of thing with BOR, seeing what they would do. You do have to have, like for trap, he said it is about 20 grand per trap house, and that is the concrete work that costs that much money. Again, you do have to have the electric, so he is going to talk to Northwestern Energy about electric costs and hookup costs, because he said those might be different now. We had some different ideas about water, thinking maybe there could be water plumbed from the transfer station, using that well, possibly, because water is, 10 acre feet. There's no way the transfer station's using 10 acre feet, and I don't think the gun club would even, with that.
They just got the bathrooms.
Right. So, but for their ATA
kitchen
tournaments
sink.
and whatnot, apparently those are ranked, right? So you have to meet all these criteria. And one of those is, you have to have 2 functioning bathrooms, running water for people. That's on that criteria. So he is going to look into that. He's going to get back to me with what the realistic costs for all that, what it is. So we'll just have that knowledge. And then on the commission side, we can hopefully start the conversation with BLM again and see what opportunities are there. So, yeah.
So if they were to move up there, they don't have enough property.
No, they don't have enough property right now.
Right.
This is what it looks like.
Yeah.
There's the gun range, and they shoot down this way, and then this is all BLM. And the terrain doesn't show up, but that's all.
This is BLM. Right?
Right. So it's not really.
And I think it's
right
that one
place
he's
for
talking
them
about, not this
to-
one, because that's the other deep ditches there.
I mean,
pretty
it's
sure it's
down,
this
but
one.
yeah, it's going to be a lot of.
Yeah.
But this is all the mining claim.
But they don't have any obstacles up there as far as, if for safety zone length and construction of homes that are too close or any of that kind
No,
of
I don't
stuff,
think
or-
homes and stuff are an issue. I mean, the homes, like, if you're, like, gun club is here,
Mhm.
and then this is, I'm pretty sure, this little piece is BLM too, but it wouldn't make sense here because there's all these ditches, right? Drainages.
Yeah, here's the,
Yeah.
that's what it,
Right, I was kind
Yeah.
of taking a look at that.
yeah, you can see that. It's that light rectangle, and then all this yellow is BLM.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's this little squiggly down here.
Well, there's a mining claim
Yeah, this
There's
is
a
all, yeah, that might be the mining claim.
for a gold mine. So the piece, it's hard to see here with the gun club is where.
You
Right
could
here.
zoom it out.
Oh,
Or zoom
yeah.
in.
It's, so like, it would be like up this way, because on Cadastral you can,
That's the mining claim up that direction?
no, the mining claim's all through here. Westmark International is the mining claim.
Okay.
This, like, red, right
Got
here
it.
is Westmark. This is BLM, and then up this way is BLM, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it would be, the piece we're talking about, the parcel, it would be like right here, catty corner, like in here. And it's flat now.
Yeah, I think I can turn on topo on this too.
Yeah.
Like right here.
Because I know off to the right there, it gets
Mhm.
pretty,
Section.
That blue, the
Yeah.
dark blue? Okay.
So, so we'll start that conversation or see how that goes. But he is gonna get back to me with that information.
Okay.
So that's really all I have for you guys from county.
Well, I appreciate it, Lindsay, because it's pretty extensive, and I appreciate the work you've,
Yeah, thanks.
the research you've able in getting that together. Okay, do we have any other questions for Lindsay or any of our guests for? Okay, do we have any new business to bring to the meeting? Not that we don't have enough on our plate right now. No, hearing none, no other new business? Do we have any comments from the floor, gentlemen? No? Okay. I do appreciate you being here. I really do. Thank you for your inputs. Okay. Next meeting looks to be October 20th. I will be in Spain.
Oh,
jeez.
Go
To
to.
you. Yes, to you. It is all yours. I am accompanying our local group on a pilgrimage in Spain for 2 weeks and visiting my sister who lives over there.
and that's
Okay.
October 20th, right?
October 20th.
So I can't
6
be
o'clock.
hunting. I can't hunt.
No, won't be hunting that one night.
Okay.
And I'll give Michael a call and find out how he's doing. Okay. All right, having no new business, no comments, having deferred over to Dirk for the next meeting, I call the meeting adjourned at, wow, 6